And now, here's your hosts, Slab86 and the Real Fat Tony.
What is going on, everybody?
Yo.
Cheers.
I don't got anything. Here's my empty thing.
This is our cheers. We have that. This is beer.
This is vodka.
This is tea. I don't know.
This is imported from across the world. Just special Gatorade, not heavy.
This is imported from purified
And guys,
water.
by the way, our guest tonight is the Real Fat Tony. Welcome in, the Real Fat Tony.
Actually, technically, the guest tonight is you.
On your stream, it's
You're in the middle.
On my stream, yeah. Guys, Discord wanted to be a little messed up tonight. So Botchy is our guest, who's all the way on the other side. So welcome in, Botch. What's going on?
Good, man. It's good to be here finally. I know we've talked about this for a long time, and it's just good to be here.
And the Brew Boys are back.
Are we?
Only the second podcast this year. You know
Really?
that? Yeah.
Wow.
Second.
Well, you guys are
podcast.
busy, so
I feel like me and Tony, it was always every other weekend. I mean, every other Friday, it's either I'm busy or he's busy. He's been snowmobiling up in the mountains.
Next weekend,
yeah, I
baby.
saw the post that you made on Insta.
Next weekend actually is the last trip. So.
Oh, I'm just gonna make it count.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta make it count. Gonna fucking brap. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. What a freaking week though. That's all I gotta say.
Oh,
for
yeah?
me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
Been a crazy week for me too.
Oh shit.
It's been crazy because I wondering about the quarantine and all this stuff. New York finally got shut down today. Apparently, I'm working from home all next week. And so Tony, I know you still have to work though, unfortunately.
Yeah, Mass is actually getting shut down on Monday. They're going into they're enabling the Stanford Act, which is shelter in place. So all non-essential.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, so all non-essential personnel will be technically stuck in their homes until whenever. I don't know exactly what they're going to be doing with it. Whether they're going to let us, go, to the grocery store or go places where people need to be. I mean,
I heard though you can.
Well, that's what I heard. So, do food centers going to be essential personnel, like stuff like
in
that?
The morning.
What's classified as essential is kind of what you're.
Well, I know the elderly get to go first in the morning. Like
I heard that from 7 to 8,
65. Yeah, and I know that. We're going to be allowed to go to the doctor, to the grocery store. Like if you're just traveling from point A to point B, like if I have to go to a house, like if I'm driving to my girlfriend's house and they pull me over, like why are you out right now? I'm going to my house. I'm going home.
I mean, you could make up a story being like, "Oh, I got to go to my girlfriend's house. Her son's sick. We got to go to the hospital."
Oh God, man! And then they escort me, and they find out I lied. And then
you fucking take him to the hospital. You follow through with that lie, Slab.
Jeez, man! I can't lie.
I know he'd be like, I'll
be in tears.
Don't
take me to jail. Don't do it.
Take me with you because he'll get a laugh out of it because I'll walk like I'm drunk and I'll be like, hey.
God. Hey, Botchy, you've been drinking and driving? No, just me, baby.
No. This is how I always walk.
I'm always waiting.
It's all me. But also, so Botchy, how's everything going with you?
Yeah, everything's been kind of crazy. I mean, they just announced today that my college is closed. They're going to online instruction as by our governor here in New York. It's been crazy because now I feel like everything's messed up because, when everybody's in that routine, getting up, going to work, getting up, taking a shower, going to class. And now it's like, what do I do now? Like, I don't have to go to class.
Now,
I just have to do the work.
Did you live on campus?
No. Can you do it at home? You can do the work at home?
No, I didn't live on campus. I can do the work from home. I'm just saying that I learn better when I'm in person.
Yeah.
So
same way, hands on.
I'm like a little bit kind of hesitant because it's like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen to my grades? I have a 3.4 GPA right now, and so
that's good.
You just gotta kind of buckle down.
Yeah, I guess. And I've emailed my professors, and they've been understanding. And it's not like we planned for this to happen in the first
No,
place.
not at all. Not
You
at
know,
all.
yeah, it's been kind of crazy, but I'm pretty sure all of us have some crap we have to deal with because of this BS, and I think we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine.
So I got a couple guys at work that have kids actually in college that live away and stuff like that. So what they actually said, which was pretty cool, was that so they're gonna be going back to homeschooling. So they're gonna be doing online classes, but that's for the rest of the year. They're not going back for the rest of the year, the semester until
Yeah.
So what the colleges are doing, which I thought was pretty cool and very nice, was that they're reimbursing all the parents and kids or whatever for room and board and food. So if they got
That's
a food
awesome.
package and room and board, they're getting reimbursed for the prorated for the rest of the semester.
What about sports? Because I know my girlfriend.
They canceled.
Yeah, but I know
all
about the money.
sports for me.
Because lacrosse, my girlfriend's son is in lacrosse, and they had to cancel the season, so they were just in practice stages. They didn't even enter a game yet.
Mm-hmm.
Do they get their money back? That's something that they have to worry about as well.
So,
I don't know.
all in reality, they should.
Yeah.
But that all goes into the city or whatnot, or the city or state or whoever runs the tournaments and games.
Yeah.
I know town ball, town ball, call it town ball, whatever you want to call it. I would assume, but unless that money's already spent, you know what I mean? Because they use a lot of the money for uniforms and whatnot. So
yeah.
I don't know where it would. Yeah. But I mean, I know college wise, they're gonna get reimbursed for their prorated.
I hope I do. Even though that I'm not room and board, I would hope that those who paid for the classes, you would think that I paid to take classes in person, not online.
Of course.
So you would think that they would do something.
Yeah.
Because think about it. We all pay. If we paid to be in classes online, then we paid to be in classes online. But the fact is that people didn't. They paid to be in class in person. They didn't pay for this online class. So
here's the thing
I
on
wonder
that,
what
though.
they're going to do about that.
So here's the thing on that, though. What if you got to look at the college too, because sometimes their college online courses are the same as if you wanted to go in person.
Right.
You know what I mean? You still got to buy the books. You still gotta, the only difference is showing up. So I mean, if they're online, if you go to register online for the same class you're taking actually in class, if it's the same price, that they're not gonna, I understand the difference.
That I understand.
So
I didn't
but
think
if
about that.
online classes are cheaper, than that, then yeah, they would reimburse you. So say it's $2,000 to take this class that you're taking to show up and get there, but online it's only $1,000. Yeah, I would see them reimburse.
Yeah, that's
you
what I was
$1,000,
talking about.
But
yeah, that's kind of what I was saying.
But if the class is $2,000 across the board, whether it's online or in person, then there's really nothing they can do. They've already done everything.
Yeah.
They're still giving you the class. They're still allowing you to take the class and receive your credits and all that stuff. So
yeah.
Well, for me, I went to school in person, and I also took an online class, and I loved online class because I worked at my pace, and I didn't have to go anywhere, and it was really
I
nice.
guess that's the beauty of it is
But again, it's at least you're able to still do it. There are people out there that are losing their job, or my brother just messaged me before, asking me, "Hey, do you still have your job?" I'm like, "Yeah, I fortunately get to work from home. I get to bring my laptop, I hook it up to my computer, and boom, I'm in the office right here." My brother's company laid off 20 people because they don't have the work now to do it. So,
right.
I know there's a lot of people that work in offices or just out and about in the world where they have to stop because of what's going on. So, and Tony has to put himself in the danger in a way because he's forced to have to go to work. That's his job.
They might not even shut my building down. We've had full building, full staff or whatever you want to call it, this whole time. So they're just starting to kind of bring it down to 50% and whatnot. I mean, we get about 1,000 to 2,000 people in the building at a time.
Yeah.
So, they said no more than 25. So now with Massachusetts going into a shelter in place, I don't know what's going to happen. They could either go down to 50%, 25%, because don't forget, this building's also putting your guys' taxes out.
Mm-hmm.
They extended the filing date from April 15th to July 15th.
No way.
Yeah. So that's
Are you kidding me?
The extended date to file is now an extra 2 months. April.
Where'd you hear
3 months. I work for the fucking building.
I just want to get okay. Can you send me a real email stating that just so I don't just wait now?
I'll see if I can find it.
Because that would
definitely don't wait. Still
I don't
file
want to
them.
wait, but you know my situation, and I
Still
would
file
love
them.
to. If I, yeah.
So the only difference is if you're gonna end up owing, the owe
Yeah.
date's still the same.
Oh, then frick. Okay.
So that's the only difference.
Well, I'm good.
It's if you're gonna
I
if
wish
you're
I could like save a little more before I got to pay my taxes.
if you're gonna receive and you're not owing anything to the state or federal or whatever, then you have up until July 15th to
So you only get to file if you're getting money back.
Correct.
To file by July, but see that it should be backwards. I feel like if you owe money, these people are losing their jobs.
Yeah.
And let's say they owe money, how are they going to pay their taxes?
exactly.
It's backwards.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
this is ridiculous. Like, oh wow, at least they're trying something. I heard also something, and we will get to Botch's beautiful story in a minute. But yeah, just covering this, I know this is affecting everyone out there. Yeah, like it's. I just lost my train of thought. What was I going with before I said that?
You don't even know what you're doing half the time.
Yeah, bye.
Well, to be fair, I don't know how to walk either, so
Oh God.
so I don't know
No,
what I'm
like,
doing in that case.
No, like the people that need to pay their taxes and whatnot, it just makes it really hard for them. And like Mel over here said that he lost his job and he has to file for unemployment. Now that's wild that the companies like
Yeah, that sucks.
they don't
I'm
offer
sorry to hear
anything,
that.
Yeah,
So-
it's like sad. And
so
I know.
here's
Oh
the
yeah, that's
thing.
what I wanted to say. Trump said he was going to give everyone $1,000. Wasn't
Mhm.
that a thing?
Yep.
Is that going to
2,000.
happen?
There,
$2,000.
so it's anywhere
That's all I'm
from
saying.
1,000 to 2,000 per person, and for each kid, aka dependent, you get anywhere from 500 to 1,000 per person. So that's a bill that's going into play. That's
Okay.
I don't,
they're
I
in
don't
the
see why that's
process.
a bad thing because
Well,
considering the situation.
Here's the thing. So the bill's going into play, but
Ooh.
they got to find out where that kind of money's coming from. So what they're
Yeah.
doing is if they're able to give that kind of check to everybody, they're also talking about having that come out of your taxes for next year.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? So it's like
So we're going to pay additional taxes to help out the economy right now.
well, no, it's kind of like a loan that you got to pay back when your taxes come out next year.
Okay.
So if you get $2,000 and then you get $5,000 back in taxes, you're only getting $3,000 back now because they're gonna take the $2,000
Yeah.
back.
Oh, rip.
Well, Joker says 1,000 per person, 2,400 for joint, plus 500 each child.
How much for joint?
That's
2,400.
Okay,
That's
so I'll
what
be
I
getting
heard,
I'll be
too.
getting almost $3,000 back. So that will come out of our taxes next year. This is kind of the way they're going with it, but they got to try and find a way to write it.
Ah, okay.
So that's
Because it's like they just can't pull money out of their ass. It's got to come from somewhere.
Correct.
So it makes sense. So I know people are gonna hate on it, but it's like at least
what
they're
else do you
trying.
expect to do?
This is a terrible time. So at least they're doing something. Like who knows how? Okay, so if we go into quarantine like we are, New York is now officially, like you're saying, Mass is officially. Like who's to say my job right now? I'm in the office, but the people that do the work like are in construction, and I'm doing their payroll. I'm doing their contracts. Like, what if they're not working? I have no more payroll to do. I have no more contracts to do. Where's my work going to come from? So, depending on my job and what they have to offer, who knows where this can go? That's why it's like in
Right.
this right now, it's like just, from my opinion, you just got to live in the day by day, because we can't plan what's going to go down.
correct.
You
No,
just got to
which sucks. But
prepare yourself for the unpredictable type
So
of
the
stuff.
other thing
It's
that's
wild.
cool is that if your state goes into a complete shutdown, like how Mass is going into a Stanford Act is getting enacted, shelter in place. When that happens, if you are not allowed to go to work, you're eligible for immediate unemployment.
Immediate. You don't have to
Immediate.
even apply.
Call
You're
call
saying,
up,
man,
hey,
okay.
they laid me off for the pandemic or whatever, blah blah blah. Boom, you'll automatically be enrolled and start receiving checks or like immediately.
Okay.
There's no more 6 weeks waiting. So if you're laid off due to this pandemic, you will get you're eligible for unemployment immediately.
That's wild. So there you go, man. There's your answer. That you can apply and boom, you get the unemployment.
Correct.
yeah.
But well, you know what? We're all in this together. Like this is one thing that we could say we share. Like
Right.
we are all a part of this terrible crisis in the world, and we're all gonna have to deal with it together. So, you know what? This is the time where the world just needs to, just
So-
show love and care.
Joker actually said something too. He said, "So would that be for anyone that has a job? My daughter is 16, so 17. So I would believe like so Joker, if he files his daughter as a dependent, like if he files his daughter as a dependent, she wouldn't get anything. He would just get the money for her being a dependent. So I don't know how that works, because I've had jobs too where my parents still filed me as dependents, but my taxes went into theirs. So I mean, I really didn't start receiving taxes until I was not a dependent of my parents anymore.
Well, Joker's like, I think she's what, 11?
No, she's 17.
Oh, she's 17.
That
the
dog,
okay.
the other one.
Okay, got it.
So if you still file her as a dependent, she still files her taxes, but you file her as a dependent. So I'm pretty sure you get her taxes. I think that's how it works.
Okay. I guess this is, we're all gonna find out sooner or later.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
So
it.
he does. He does file her as a dependent. So that's
Okay.
where that all goes.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna get through it. So, Botch.
Yeah.
The reason the podcast is happening tonight is you as our guest to be on the show.
Thank you.
So we want to ask you about basically who's Botch? What is Botch?
That's a trick
Why
question.
is Botch? When is Botch? Where is Botch?
Where do you want me to start?
Wherever you feel like starting.
Well,
You start from what got you into gaming, why you came up with your name.
Well, I started doing YouTube at like 10 years old.
Oh wow.
I was in 4th grade. I was just messing around with a buddy of mine. And I literally, what I would do is I would set my laptop, have a webcam, and point it at the TV to record gameplay. Like, I had no capture card. I had nothing, none of the stuff that I have now. And I was in the golden age of YouTube, so like 2005, 2007.
Golden age.
And I was into Ali, all these Call of Duty YouTubers, and I knew that. I thought like, oh, I'm not really good at a lot of physical things, but I can talk and I can play video games. So I kind of just went with it and went through a bunch of channel names. Eventually got a capture card, got an Elgato for Christmas the one time, and kind of took off from there. And then after a bunch of channel, like I had like maybe 4 or 5 channels of YouTube before I went to the Botch TV brand. So then I just kind of took off from there. And then somebody was like, hey, why don't you try streaming? And I was like, okay, whatever. I would watch like guys like you. I would watch, obviously I met you as I was streaming, but I would watch guys like you that started out, small, and then you worked your way up to apply for partner too. And I would watch you guys and
and Tony.
I'm here too, asshole.
Sorry, and Tony. I would watch you guys, and I was like, this is cool. I never really understood the point of it, but at the same time, I was like, people can actually interact with you as you're playing a game, like live.
I'll be honest with you, though, I thought the same thing where I didn't understand what Twitch was. I didn't know, like, what is the point of it? Like, who's going to want to talk to me, or why do I want to watch someone play a video game? Right? Like, and then all of a sudden you start watching and start getting into it, and it's like, that's why.
That's why.
Now I understand this whole time.
Yeah, because like people are like, why would somebody watch somebody play a game when they can play it themselves? And like that's the number one question that gets asked a lot. Yeah, and I guess it's the interaction and the people that you meet, especially with Avenger friends and different communities like that are our thing. And like sports teams and competitiveness and esports now and everything else. Like it's huge.
That's why I do regret not getting into this a long time ago, because I've been gaming forever. Like I just didn't I knew about MLG Sports, MLG Pro, all that stuff. I didn't know what Twitch was until 2 years ago. And then when I heard about Twitch, I watched it for about a month and I said, I'm going to try this. This looks
right. Panda got you into streaming.
Panda got me into streaming because I was unemployed, lost my job. And I said, sure, like I like gaming. What else am I going to do?
Oh yeah.
And then I realized at one point where it was like, I really like this. Where to the point where I was like, I want to invest. I really like this. I want to invest into it. I want to invest time, money, that's
blood,
sweat, and tears. It's
that's what I did. Yeah.
So you you put your heart and soul into it, and then you build. And
Mhm.
my motto from the very beginning, you probably know my motto, Botch,
Head,
was
head,
hashtag
heads
build
down.
the stream.
Oh, I thought it
Was
was
like my
heads
very
down,
first
eyes
hashtag, because I was started on what you said, connect and Xbox, as we spoke about before. And then then obviously HDU is one of my things where it's just like, I started coming up with these hashtags that just kept me going, kept me motivated.
Hadoo.
Yeah. Right.
Hadoo.
Exactly.
Hadia.
Hadoo, eh?
Hadia. It's like French for something.
Head down, peanut.
Wow. Why do I want to be staring at my peen? Like, hey, buddy, how you doing?
That's the only thing.
God.
That's the only
Leave
thing
it up
that
to
works
Tony
on
to
me. So.
ruin the HDEU, man. Chase Rice, I'm really sorry.
Head down, peanut.
Oh, God.
You guys crack me up. I swear to God.
So you said that, okay, so you were like really, really into YouTube, and then you branched into Twitch, and you realized, wow, this is a lot of fun. How long have you been streaming for?
I don't know exactly when I started. I haven't kept track of like when I first hit that go live button, but I would say I started taking it seriously, I think August 21st of 2019. Yeah. So it's been a year and a half or close. It'll be close. That's when I started, RCW, my whole wrestling thing. Because it started out as something that I wanted to try out, like, because I've always been a fan of wrestling. So I was like, what if I was Vince McMahon? So like, I started to book my own shows, and then kind of the outlaw characters came into fold, and I went with it, and I started to share my my real life story through these characters, and which is why when I did the little promo video for this thing.
Which we need to show. Do you want to show that?
We'll do it. Yeah, do it. Might as well, since we're talking about it, right?
All right, chat. Botch made a video. I'm gonna pause the music. Botch made a video specifically for this podcast, correct?
Yeah.
And you ripped me. You ripped me. Did you rip Tony?
I didn't rip him.
God, of course you didn't.
Because I already.
Did you compliment him then? Tony, I swear to God.
Apparently, I'm fucking nobody today in this podcast.
You're the middle dude on my screen, so you are somebody.
I didn't rip
nobody.
Tony. I didn't rip Tony because I already do it all the time.
All right,
that's true. Botch never makes fun of me. It's true. He does not make fun of me.
Well, you make fun of yourself, so I
Botch,
can't do anything.
What does Botch call Tony?
I can't say that.
Is that what you call him?
Yeah, that's what I call him.
And what does Tony call you? Tony, I want you to just say it.
Say it, please say it. Come on.
Just say it.
Do it. Do it, Tony. Come on.
No.
It's our thing.
It's our thing.
It's our thing.
Can't do it.
Do it.
Can't. Sorry.
Do it.
I don't know how to say
it.
I don't know what it is. I
Do
forgot.
it.
Do it.
I forgot what
Chat,
it was.
if you want Tony to say it, everyone put a 1.
Oh, here we go.
Say it, please.
Just say it. Say it.
Oh, fucking.
One's across the board now.
Can you take
I want you to say it with like really into it. Baby.
All right, time out.
Don't time it. No. But come on.
Botch is my broken leg little bitch.
There it is, chat. There it is.
I know I am.
Only I can call him that. If anybody else says, I'll fucking fight you.
Wait a minute. How are we gonna do this? Hold on.
I'm just gonna leave this.
Can't you just like?
No. Yeah. Hold on. There we go.
Oh wait. Did you send it to me?
Wait.
I sent it.
Yeah, Botch should have sent it to you. So hold on, chat. I'm gonna do this really quick. Just bear with us.
What, Discord?
I sent it through the DM on Discord, through the whole group thing.
Okay.
For the call thing.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm gonna click on this.
Yeah. Look, I did this.
Time out.
This is a story you've only heard parts of.
So this is Botch's video. You let me know when you're ready to play it.
Hold on. I need
the story of.
It's only like a minute and 30 seconds long. It's not long.
So I need to move this. I'm gonna move this to my left screen because I have a display where I can go like this. Boom, where you guys can see it. And then
sounds like a beast, chat.
Click over here. All right, I'm ready to go.
No, that's supposed to be me.
This is a beast right here. All right, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
This is a story you've only heard parts of. The story of a broken man, lost with nowhere to go. Questioning who he was, looking for answers. We were those answers. My family and I gave him a platform to share the darkest moments of his life. Willis concealing the fact that in all of this, the victim was truly him. but our work is far from over. As we live his dream of being a professional wrestler, bringing his stories into the light, our goal remained the same. Put the boss man back together again. We've done that. But now, he is ready to take the next step. Heal. Share his story with all of you in hopes that not only you will join us, but it will encourage you to get the help you need to heal yourself, better yourself, and most of all, live a happy life. Well, that's the end of my BS. And hey Slev, quit looking at my sisters, or you will be next in line for a guilty verdict, buddy.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I will see you again soon. And remember, no one defines you. Only you know who you really are.
That was awesome, dude. Wow.
You heard it, didn't you?
I did, and that was amazing.
Yeah, it's hard to get into character for it. Gotta tell you.
I love it.
I think you did great, dude.
I love it.
I felt like I was watching like a real trailer from like I told you, man, you're the next freaking Vince McMahon. Get out there. It's amazing. That was awesome, dude.
I love playing that character. I love playing Brian Outlaw. I love playing him. He's great.
I think give you a lot of credit for that. So I know you're like, as me, I love wrestling. I know you're a big wrestler. We're not going to talk a lot about wrestling because Tony is not a wrestling fan.
As he glares at the camera.
But I know wrestling is a big part of your life and what keeps you going and all that. So, Tony, you have the next question.
Yeah, I feel bad for Tony because I've been ignoring him this whole time. I feel bad.
And now he's going to ignore you.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
Don't worry, I'm used to it.
Wow.
Used to it from Slev's chat though, right?
No, used to it from being in public, so it's fun.
Oh.
All right.
See, it just made you feel more horrible about yourself.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's the end of the podcast, Botch.
they're like, oop.
Well, okay, so here's a question. Explain your situation. Like, why does Tony, tease you with that? Why do you tease yourself with being out in public and stuff like that?
I do it because it's the only way I know how to cope with my physical disability. So I was born with cerebral palsy, which was caused by hydrocephalus. So back then they called it water on the brain because they didn't know what to call it back then. So they just called it water on the brain.
Okay.
And what from my mother told me is that my lungs weren't developed, so I stopped breathing, and because of that, it was a lack of oxygen to my brain, which caused brain damage, which is irreversible, by the way. Can't be fixed, unfortunately. If it could, I would, trust me, I would try it. But that left me with this disability, and basically what it is, to put it in layman's terms, is basically think of it like texting, right?
Okay.
So like you're texting somebody, and when you send that text through, it bounces off a bunch of cellular towers and then gets to the person's phone. Like that's how it works. So basically what my brain does is your brain has these things called like impulses, which tell your nerves and your muscles to do things. And then after that happens, the impulse goes back up to your brain, which is your cerebral cortex, which controls muscle coordination and movement, to tell your brain to do that. Basically, somewhere in between, that message is blocked, which means my legs don't know what to do. So sometimes when I'm walking, I drag my feet because my foot doesn't know to pick itself up off the ground, which leads me sometimes tripping over my own feet and hurting myself. So half the time I hurt myself without realizing it.
At least you don't have glass bones.
Yeah.
You'd be breaking a lot more shit.
Yeah, I would be.
It just shows how strong you are.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It shows that, how many times have you fallen in life and got back up?
Physically and metaphorically.
Yeah, exactly. Both ways. Where you make a comment where you say like going out in public, but yet you are going out in public. And you're saying, you know what? I'm going to keep going out in public because I know who I am.
Trouble said it right. Neurons don't fire correctly. Basically,
Okay.
yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, see, like Botch
I-
does the same thing like I do. You know what I mean? Like you gotta joke about shit in order to.
Well, I was gonna
know.
say because like people used to make fun of you, right, Tony? People used to
They
make
still
fun
do.
of you, and now you embrace it with your
You
name,
take
the
that
real fat
power
Tony.
out of everyone else's
yeah.
hands by making fun
Yeah.
of yourself.
I
Exactly.
wasn't always that way though, because I
Neither
grew
was
up.
I.
I grew up in a, when I was growing up, and I'm not going to make this overly exaggerated because I'm not. Like, I live a very blessed childhood. I'm blessed with everything that I have. But
Aw.
I was bullied a lot all through middle school, pretty much all the way up
Middle school,
to sophomore year in high
college.
school. So I stopped getting bullied probably when I hit college. Because who cares at that point? Like, people aren't that stupid. I would imagine that by college you're grown up, hopefully.
Yeah.
And so,
I'm 33. I'm not grown up.
well, I mean, yeah, we know that. We know that.
I have 2 weeks to grow up. That's it. 2 weeks.
But like, I mean, like you yourself, there's comes the time in life where you're like, why am I making fun of somebody? I'm wasting so much time in my life making fun of other people, thinking about what other people think about me. I'm just gonna do me and whatever.
Amen, man.
And so like that's what I did. It wasn't that easy because I hit rock bottom probably 2017 summer of that year. I just had the worst senior prom. Let's just say that was the worst experience I've ever had in my entire life. I would never wish that upon anybody, and I'm just going to leave it at that. But I started listening to Paris, who I've probably talked a lot about in Sled Stream and in Biz's stream, so Biz knows who I'm talking about. But started listening to them, and their music kind of resonated with me in a way that I never thought it would. The first song I heard was Let Them In, and one of the lines in it was, I want to feel something that's not the weight of your world in my head. And so I felt that. I really did, because I knew I was going through, anxiety, depression, all that stuff. I knew that I was going through it, but I thought as a man, because of the stigmas that surround men and mental health, I thought that I should just keep it inside and not tell anyone. My mother knew, because what mother doesn't know her son? So, my mother knew, so I didn't tell her. I didn't tell her about it, but she knew, because I'm her son.
Yeah.
But I started listening to them, and then I was like, I gotta meet her. I gotta meet this band. I have to. Coincidentally, they came to a festival in October of that year, and I did. I ended up going, and I ended up meeting them for the first time, and that's where I met the lead singer of the band, Lynn. And I was like, I was in my wheelchair that day. I only say that because that matters. Because I rolled up. Basically, I remember it. I will always remember it, because I rolled up to meet her, and I was so nervous. I was. My mind was all over the place.
I bet.
I was kind of like, what do I say? What do I do? Because you're in that moment where you're like, how do you say thank you to a person that puts you out of a bad place in your life? How do you you never dream of meeting these people, but you never expect it to happen.
Yeah.
So it's like, so I'm just like, I roll up there.
You're like
and,
fangirling.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I literally, this is like how I am. I'm like, hi, Lynn, how are you? And then I wasn't expecting her to say anything. I wasn't, but she's like, I'm good. How are you? And I'm like, oh crap, I gotta think of something now.
I didn't expect to get past this far. What's going on?
But it's funny.
Follow up.
But it's funny because then she said, "Hey, can I have a ride?" Oh wait, don't answer that. I realized how dirty that.
Wow.
So I started laughing. I was dying laughing.
Awesome.
That reminded me of to lighten the mood a little bit. Funny. Have you seen the movie Sex Drive?
Yeah.
I have not.
All right, so those two kids that are in that guy was like, "Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? Our dicks are huge. You can see it from space." Like those kids in that, they're like going like, oh, they talk a big game, and then one girl goes, yeah, sure, I'll go. They look at each other, they're like,
Oh,
and
shit.
they roll the window up, like they had no idea. Like the opening
Oh
the
my
opening was
God.
there, and then they couldn't close. So that just reminded me of just a bunch. Like, hey, how you doing? Oh fuck.
Oh my God, so
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
I
you
actually have
know,
a couple of things I want to read out to you, Botch, that
right.
I think are
Cool.
really important. That
I have your chat pulled up, so I've been casually reading here and there, but go ahead.
okay. Well, yeah, like Joker says, so glad you're here, brother. I haven't told many people this, so this allows me to share this with the family here. I lost my
Okay.
brother at 17 months old because of
Oh,
water on
jeez.
the brain. I never met him. And then Bitch says, well, Joker, obviously, like our dude, our like big hearts to you, my man, as well.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
Bitch
because it
says,
can
dude,
kill you. So
yeah. And Bitch says, dude, you're a god, legit. The fact that you're out here doing what you do and being amazing, you're making a difference.
I don't know
And
about a
that
god, but I
you're a
appreciate
freaking god, Botch.
the thing is like
Freaking god.
I've
Freaking
had
god.
the thing that I've had to work on is accepting compliments. I don't accept them too well. I still don't. So it's like when I was sitting there in my wheelchair at Harvest Fest and I met Paris, I was sitting there like thinking, holy crap, this is actually happening. Like, holy crap.
It's about to go down.
But like I had a like 5-minute conversation with all of them. But I spent a lot of time talking to Lynn because I knew that she was going through some bad things and I wanted to be there for her in the sense that they're people too. They're not just celebrities or whatever. They're people too. People feel things. And through her music, that was her outlet. So I wanted to let her know that people were there for her. Like, to me, it wasn't about me saying thank you because I knew that she wasn't okay that day. I knew something was kind of off. So I wanted to, make her laugh. So I ended up responding to that question that she asked me. And I was like, I was thinking in my head, like, out of the weirdest things that people have asked me over the years, that's the best thing I've ever heard of in my entire life. And then she's like, you were thinking the same thing. Don't lie. And then I was like, no. And then I like tried to hide my smile because I definitely was. And it was fun. And then I said, am I in trouble? She's like, no, you're not.
Am I in trouble?
Well, because she's been openly gay since 2014. So, I think that kind of inspired me because it was like, that's a tough thing to share with public, with the public people. That's a really tough thing to share. I mean, it's more open now than it ever has been, but
Definitely
it's
way more accepting.
Yeah, but it's when I kind of knew that she was because there's a couple things that I picked up on, but it was funny because like she embraces that, and I love it how she makes jokes about herself. Like she'll make really dirty jokes about herself, and it's really funny. It's really really funny. And the funniest thing is when I met him a year later, she knew who I was. Like a year later, I ended up meeting them. It was like 30 degrees that I kid you not.
Oh, you met her again?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
The second time. A year later, and it was like 30 to 20 degrees outside. So it was bitter cold.
Yeah.
And I had my Paris beanie on because I got that when I bought the VIP. I had 4 Paris shirts on. One right after the other.
You made it a point to know that you're a fan.
You're like,
like literally, I got out.
Look at me.
And I paid $200 in an Uber to see her.
Jesus.
I paid $200
dedication and love for a
to
band
go with
right
to go with a friend of mine to see her, and that's what I did. But what was funny was one of the things that I remember is when I turned around that corner and I said hello to everybody. Lynn knew who I was. She couldn't talk to me, but I saw her eyes light up, so she knew who I was. And I kept on saying, "Do you know who I am? Do you remember me?" And then I just said one phrase that will always stick with me, and it's "you and I." Remember? Because that's a song that that they have. which is about somebody that makes her feel safe, somebody that helped her through the roughest times, and she feels bad that she couldn't be the person that this particular person in the song or that is written about wants. So she's like, I can't be what you want, but give it time. We can meet in the middle. We can meet up again sometime.
Yeah.
So it was really good to know that I had that effect on somebody, to know that I was able to help her in some way. And now she's like going through therapy and stuff like that and helping herself. So, like that's what I try and do. Like, it wasn't about me. Like, I could care less. I paid that money to see her, but I wanted to, because I made a promise to her that the first time we met, I said, I'm going to be back. I'm going to be back. I'm going to see you again. And that's what's going to happen. And I did it again. And she knows I'm coming to the next one.
That's
so
awesome.
She knows.
She's been a lookout.
She knows because I gave her my Twitter handle. I ended up giving
nice.
her my Twitter handle. And I ended up saying to her, like, hey, this isn't for me or anything. This is for you, just in case you need something. Because she reaches out to fans all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to be that thing for her, so that I'm one guy that she can trust. Because let's say she doesn't like men, so it's. But it's funny because I remember the first time we met, she said, I saw you take your shirt off. That's crazy. Because I did. I took one of my shirts off, and I spun it in the air. I had one shirt on. I was like, hell yeah, then I turned it around. And and she's like, I saw you take your shirt off. That's crazy. And I said, hey, you haven't seen how I walk when I get out of this thing. So that's crazy.
It's like, you think this is good? Wait till you see the rest of it.
Wait till you see that. Oh, wait.
And she laughed so hard. She thought it was funny. And like, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make her laugh. And that's what I live for.
Yeah.
I make people laugh. That's what Tony does. He makes fun of himself and he does stupid stuff to make people laugh, because that's who he is. So that's what I try and do. I try and do that with my streams. I try and bring out, I know that maybe some people aren't into wrestling, like Tony, for example. But when people come into my streams, I always want to, create that space for everyone to be open about things, and that's the thing I want to do with, you guys letting me be on the podcast, is, encourage people to be open. And that's what the Outlaws are. That's what you guys saw in that video. That's me, Brian Outlaw characters. So when you guys see those storylines in that stuff, a lot of that is based on my actual life. And I'm actually getting Dark Arrow to make emotes of the Outlaws, so you guys are going to see the emotes.
Awesome.
So that's going to be cool.
We all love Dark Arrow. He's gonna get what you want out there as your emotes, man. I promise you that.
Yeah, it's
phenomenal.
It's crazy, but I like to be that person that people can come to. You know what I mean? Like, I know what it's like to be alone and not feel like you have anybody. And I never trusted anyone as much as I trusted Lynn that day, because she said in a podcast that she was really good at reading, and she read me like a book. She knew what was wrong. She knew that something was going on, and she made me laugh. It's funny because she told me, I don't judge people. She's like, I've already been judged, for being gay. And I was like, so what does that matter? I said, guys suck anyway. So what do you, I made a joke and I said, guys suck anyway. You did. But it's funny because she's like, oh, you don't suck though. You're fine. I was like, well, thanks. Kind of like making, just laughing about it, and it's kind of cool how you can have that effect on anybody.
Yeah.
Or celebrity or anybody. So
Jimmy said something. Jimmy said something. He goes, side note though, Botch is a really awesome story. I've known people with what he has, and they like just giving up, and he's just pushing it, and it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. You inspire, man. Like, that's something that you will come to realize, is that how many people you inspire. They say, wow, like you're telling us that you can't walk and you're in a wheelchair, and there are people out there that can walk just fine and complaining about the little shit.
Right,
Who you are.
and I say that's the number one thing that I get irritated about is when people complain. And I don't mean to make my life sound like it sucks. It doesn't.
No, yeah.
But the thing is I hate people who look better off than some people and then complain about like just anything. Like, oh, I don't have the newest iPhone, or I have to walk up four
First world
flights.
problems.
I have to wake up 4 flights of stairs. Oh, really? I feel so bad for you. Guess what?
I can't even walk upstairs.
Like literally, like we have
Fuck you, asshole.
We have this spiral staircase at my college, and it's 3 flights. And by the time I get up there, I'm winded.
Me too.
And probably put the burger down, buddy.
Oh, jeez. Got him. There it is.
I'm kidding. I love you, man.
Never.
I love you guys. You guys are awesome.
Bitch says CP along with other disabilities can overtake a person. You're an inspiration for people who have let that happen.
Yeah,
What with bitch's comment, like what keeps you going? Like, because you come off as a very positive person through everything. The best you can. You know what I'm saying? Like you push. So what keeps that drive going?
That's a good question. Because I've watched all the other podcasts that you guys have done, with Hakeem, Ice White. Didn't you guys do one with Stormbreaker, or is that?
That was Ice White. That was the Frozen Spud.
Oh, right. Yeah. I was trying to think who else you did. I know you did it with Onyx too. Yeah.
Yep.
You guys asked
Dueling Ogres.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. And like what really keeps me going, I would say, is the fact that I can be that person that people open up to. Mm-hmm. Like I can be that one person where if I share my story through the outlaw characters, through these characters, like a lot of people didn't know that was me, that all of that stuff was, real and not, storylines like, WWE, we all know it's not. We all know it's not.
Wait, it's fake? Come on, man.
Right.
You just shattered my dreams, Botch.
Funny. I'm sorry. We all know it's not real, but I keep going because it's what else are you gonna do? Are you just gonna like stop and give up on everything in life?
Yeah.
Like I've seen people do that, and it's because they either don't want to work hard or because they feel like it's too easy, or they want to take the easy way out. And I was never. What keeps me going is I always wanted to be more than just a kid in a wheelchair or a kid with a cane, because that's literally all I was in school. Like I was just a kid with a cane. I remember one of my friends in high school. They were like, oh, you were the kid with the cane, right? And I'm just thinking in my head, really, that's all you.
Oh,
you don't remember me about my personality. And I had this one friend, and I use the term friend loosely, where he said, if you weren't in that wheelchair, none of those girls would be hanging out because you're in this wheelchair and you're making people feel sorry for you and stuff like that. And I said, I never asked for anybody's sympathy. Yeah. Like that's the worst thing you can do. Don't ask for anybody's sympathy.
Yeah, you're not going around going, oh, feel bad for me.
Right, exactly.
There's enough of those people in the world.
Right,
you see posts on Twitter all the time. Oh, feel bad for me, blah, blah, blah. Like, you don't do that shit.
But it's also those people out there, like, okay, someone is in a wheelchair, and then that person holds the door open for them, and they're like, what are you doing? You don't got to help me all the time. Like, people want to feel independent, that they can still do things on their own. Like, when my mom had, like, when she was facing the beginning stages of ALS.
Lou Gehrig's disease, yeah.
Yeah, we would try to help her, and she didn't want our help. She would push us, like, no, I want to walk. I want to. She didn't want to come to terms that maybe she did need a little help, but she's like, no, I'm strong, and I'm going to keep doing what I feel I could do until it came to a point where she couldn't anymore.
Right, and I commend your mom for doing that.
That goes both ways. So it's like, how you said, like, people holding the door and just trying to be nice. Yeah. But then there's also, as long as like I'm not saying you do, Botch, because I know you're a better person than that, but there are people who will like that, be like, oh, why the fuck are you holding the door for me? Like I can do it myself. Like you gotta.
I understand
You
that.
gotta try to differentiate between feeling sorry and actually just being a genuine person.
Right.
Because like I was brought up, you hold the door for the person behind you. Even if they're
That's common
few
courtesy, man.
steps.
That's all it is.
It's like I hold the door. It's just common courtesy. Like I don't know what you're going through and stuff like that, but I know people have actually done that to me. To the point where it's like, oh, I can do it myself, and like, okay, whatever, fuck you.
Right.
It's like, or like another pet peeve is you hold the door for somebody and they don't say thank you.
Right.
I know that's.
I want to grab him. I want to grab him by the fucking back of the neck, pull him back out the door, and fucking let the door go.
Or just be like, if they don't say thank you, it's like, you're welcome.
I
like,
do it all the time.
Know that you're
all the time. I'm surprised it hasn't started more fights, but I do it all the time.
I want to read something that Trouble wrote. She wrote, a development disorder doesn't define the person. Like people who treat others as if they were less human or less deserving of love and respect is awful. Kids need to be brought up better, because if we teach kids this, if we teach kids this is okay, they will bully.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like to touch on what she was saying, I feel like the reason why we bully is not only because those people feel crappy about themselves, so they want to feel better by bullying other people, which I don't know how that works. I don't know how putting down others and
their own insecurities that they could take out on somebody else.
Right.
Oh, it happens, man. People have bad childhoods. Like they don't like.
So have I.
It's literally a thing between like family life. Their parents don't show them love or care about what they do. They have some kind of insecurities about themselves, whether that be like whether a female doesn't like her body, or a guy doesn't like has a tiny dick. It shit. You laugh, but I mean it's shit like that, like where it makes people act out to put down somebody else over their physical traits.
Yeah, I always, when I would beat myself up, I would never use that to bully other people. Like,
no, absolutely not.
If anything, I would bully myself, because I'd be like, "Oh, I'm nothing but a kid with a cane," or I'm not good at this, or I don't deserve this. I don't deserve any of this. Like, half of the time, like and to have your celebrity crush say something good about you,
it makes you feel real good.
It makes, yeah. I was like, I wasn't expecting that.
Well, that's one reason why as well. Like I tease myself, I make fun of myself. I get made fun of a lot. Like I wouldn't say I was bullied in school, but I was definitely the guy that you hung out with that you teased. Like as soon as I met
we
Tony,
tease you just because we love you.
But that's the thing, though. It's like I come on Twitch. I wouldn't think that people would tease me like the way my friends do in real life. Like, I know this is real life, but you know what I'm saying? Like I was like, wow, this is just somebody I am. People can make fun of me and I can joke back.
Wow, it's fucking high school all over again.
I could take a joke like the best of them, but then when I start getting upset, let's say it gets a little too far where you're beating a dead horse with the same joke, and I get upset, then they're like, "Hey, Slev, why you being a bitch?"
Right.
All I say is, think back to the months and months and months of you making fun of me every single day of my life, and I'm laughing about it. And then the one day that I decide to say, "Well, this is bullshit," and you just talk to me as a person, they get mad at me.
Nah, I can't do it.
So,
sorry.
Well,
I've learned to develop that harder shell. I know I'm a diva about it, and I might be like,
that's the thing, man. It's like a lot of my friends will in front of other people, and then they'll look at my friend like, "Did you really just say that?" And like my buddy, he made a funny joke. I'm trying to think of it. He goes, "It's okay, Brian. My jokes just have legs to stand on."
Wow.
Oh shit.
And this one girl in my class, I have a crush on. I think she's very pretty. She's like, "Oh, don't do that to him." I was like, "What are you gonna do? Punch him?" And then I start like fake crying. I'm like, "Why do you hate me?"
Yikes.
Like, why do you hate me? So, that's what keeps me going, is like, if I can joke around with people, and Tony, honestly, like that joke and what we do with each other, like, calling each other those names and stuff, it's awesome. And like, honestly, like it's great because it always makes me laugh. And that's the kind of thing that I like, is having go along with my humor. Like no matter how messed up it is, they still go along with it, and it's cool, and I guess at the end of the day, it is what it is, and it's like if you don't like me, then that's fine. If you don't like what I do, then that's okay. I don't care. I'm gonna do me and be 100% me, and still do it. And I can say for certainty, I held Bryn's hand, and no guy's ever done that.
There you go. There it
Li-
is.
I literally, like, I'll tell you guys this quick story. I literally, the second time that happened, I faked getting stuck on one of the light cords.
Oh my god.
Backdrop. They had this whole backdrop where you could take your photo with them. Like they had a black backdrop, and you could take your photo and everything. And so I was like, okay, I have an opportunity to do something really stupid, but also really smooth and really fun. So I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And my friend was with me, and he goes, "What are you gonna do?" I said, "Just watch."
Just watch.
I said, "Watch and learn." I said, "You think your good looks are gonna help?" I said, "Watch this." So I faked getting stuck on one of the light cords because I didn't pick up my foot. And Alex, the guitarist of the band, he looks at me. "You got it?" He goes, "You got it?" And I'm like, "I'm having trouble over here, man. I can't get over this thing." And I guess Lynn saw me, and she held out her hand, and I looked at her, and I'm like, "What are you doing? You sure? Are you sure?" Because I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want you don't go grabbing anywhere. You don't just go grabbing people's hands, keeping.
Yeah.
You just don't. So I was like, "Are you sure?" And she waited, and she's like, "Yeah, I do." Like nodded yes, and I was like, and then he's like, and then Alex is like, "Did you fake that?" And I said, "What?
You're like Smalls from what's his name from Sandlot, who faked getting killed, like they faked the drowning scene.
Oh yeah,
The kiss.
Squints.
I was just
Squints.
reading bitches chat.
What did she say? Then he falls and just sticks his
Squints.
I totally would do that. That'd be something I would do. But I am not that bad, okay?
I'm not that bad. The people that get me are like, let's say they dish out a joke. They could dish out all the jokes, and then as soon as you make fun of them, they get so defensive and so angry at it.
Yeah.
Don't be talking about me,
like,
Slev.
Yeah, it's
Wait,
like
is that you?
Wait, what?
You take a joke.
I take.
There are people out there that literally go from 0 to 100. Like they can make fun of you and laugh about it, but once you make fun of them or tease them as a joke, they just want to make fun of you right back.
I know somebody like that.
Do I know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, hang on. Let me see if I can show. Let me see if I can show. Stream this real quick.
Oh, it's good.
You may not be able to see it too well because it's on my phone.
I just called out Ordai. Dish a joke, you
You guys
can't
see
take it
this?
out.
You guys see it?
Yeah.
See the camera? That's me,
awesome.
and that's Lynn right there. Can't really see it too well because it's blurry because of the camera, but that has been my wallpaper for 2 years straight.
That's amazing.
I haven't
That's
changed
hot.
it. Or 3 years,
That's
actually.
hot.
3 years. Or no, two, actually. I'm losing track of time. 2 years. And I've never changed it. And I only will change it when we take another picture and update it. So I'll only change it when that happens. And that's only because she told me not to. Because I sent the photo to her, and she's like, "Don't change that." She's like, "Brag." I said, "Oh, I brag every day, every day, every freaking day." It's I just want to be there for people, and like Slev. Honestly, I'm just gonna say this because Slev, you need to hear. Like you honestly do. When I first met you in the stream, I can't remember we were streaming when I first met you, and I was chatting with you, and you asked me, "What do you have?" If you don't mind me asking, when I was explaining this whole thing, and the way you asked that is literally the best way that any random person has asked me, because people don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
I've had questions where people are like, or, what the hell's wrong with you?
They
I've
would
literally
say
had,
it like that.
yeah, exactly. And it's like, well, I'm not going to tell you now.
I'm not gonna tell you
You
now,
you don't
asshole.
deserve that.
Well, what's funny is like sometimes, like when I get those people, I'll pretend that I'm like that I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh really? Like, oh really? This is how I walk? Holy crap! Something's
Wait.
wrong here.
Help!
Like, I'll just pretend, just
Yeah.
to
I
be
love
funny.
that.
But it's like I love the way you asked that. Not a lot of people know how to ask, because then you said, if you don't mind me asking, because then you're giving me control
Yeah.
whether or not to tell you.
I
Whereas
want
like
that control.
when people like directly ask you, why do you walk like that? See, you're really an
Yeah.
so I might as well do it.
Mm.
And people are like, why do you feel the need to answer? Because if I don't, I'm already awkward.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's just who I am. And
Because I felt like
Right.
if I asked you that way, it's more respectful. Like just like you said, you get control. I don't want to offend anybody. I wanted to do it in the most respectful way possible. So yeah, by me saying if you don't mind, because what if you didn't want to tell me, you didn't have to tell me. You don't have to tell anybody. So I gave you the power because it's up to you to want to talk about it.
Right, exactly.
That's why even being on the podcast right now, we need to make sure that you're okay talking about it, about just, and it's
Right.
okay.
Like I wasn't always that. I think my experience with Lynn alone made me that way.
Mhm.
Because like if she's okay with telling the whole gay in the public eye, and it was in 2014, so it was still kind of on the acceptance.
Mhm.
I believe it was like 2015, but it was like, like it was teetering on the acceptance or something like that.
Botch, you keep cutting in and out a lot. Is it getting worse for you, Tony, or is that just my end?
Don't mean to.
That's you.
Hang on.
The people, yeah, just try. I just want to make sure everyone hears you.
Am I better now? I moved my mic a little.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Top, yeah.
Yeah, I moved my mic up a little bit because sometimes the
Nope. Cut out.
stream.
Yeah. It was fine before. We cut out like every now and again. Now it's like every other word.
I don't know what's going on.
It's kind of like you're clipping and your mic's shutting off.
Yeah. I just want to make sure everyone's able to hear.
How do I fix that?
Maybe move it further away.
All right. Am I good now?
Yeah.
For now.
For now, just keep going.
Yeah, but I guess like the other day, like meeting Lynn was the reason why I am the way I am, about it. Because I feel like when you have something like that and you share it in the public eye like that, and you're a celebrity,
Mm-hmm.
like, not to say that you're asking to get insulted, but I don't know what compels people to insult. But when you're a celebrity,
Insecurities for sure.
when you're a celebrity and you're in the public eye, anything and everything that you do, including your love life, is everyone's business.
Yeah.
And that's what sucks. But the thing is she doesn't like publicly post a picture of her and her partner together. She doesn't do that too often.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the cutest thing when she does. It's like, oh, she's happy. I'm happy for her. Damn it. But it is how it is. And I think me being public about it and saying this is my disability, this is how it affects me, whatever.
Deal with it.
Deal with it. And if you can't, there's the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about a handicap button that you press. There's a door, and get it yourself. You know, because like I always think it takes a special kind of person to disability. Then, because when like Slev, if you and I were out, like out at a bar,
Mm-hmm.
you would have to make sure, literally have to have my hand on your shoulder, to walk if I didn't have a cane.
That's how
I'll be that guy. I'll let you do it.
And that's not meant to be, weird. But some
I would do that
some
for
people consider that to be weird, though.
I do that for my drunk ass friends when they're walking out of the bar and they can't hold themselves up.
I had to carry Sliv.
You know what's
Wait.
funny?
No, I got to the Uber. You more shots, maybe. Tony, I need help.
You know what's funny though is now that I say that, I remember Lynn saying it would be fun in my wheelchair just for fun. She's like, "Hey, I'd push you down a hill in a wheelchair." She's like, "I'll take care of you. It's fine." And I'm like, I'm like praying to God, like, please, for the love of God, I've never asked you for anything, but please let me fall out of this. Please
Let me fall.
Let me fall. I already do it enough. Please just let me fall on purpose this time.
Oh god.
See, I make myself laugh.
That's great.
I make myself laugh.
Well, here's a question that I have. We covered your past and what keeps you streaming, what keeps you motivated, what keeps you going. But where do you see yourself going? Like, what do you want? Okay, so since you stream, what do you want to do with streaming? You have this wrestling that you do. Where do you want that to go? What are your main goals in streaming right now?
See, that's the thing. I just want to stream just to stream.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you were on that part push, and obviously you're still trying to get there because I saw your tweet that you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. That's gonna happen. Because it's just bound to. Because of the support that you have from this community, who you are as a person, Slav.
Thank you, man.
That's gonna happen. But I don't really have any goals for streaming per se. I just really that with what I'm doing now, I get to AEW. That's what I want to do. I want to get to all.
You want to be noticed by AEW, of wrestling, or any kind of wrestling organization.
I want to be noticed either by AEW or Impact. I've already talked to Chris Van Vliet, who interviews for them, and I talked to who else did I talk to? Alicia too, who's done a couple of interviews with guys from AEW.
Okay.
And I would love to be there. That would be somewhere where I would want to go and make the Brian Outlaw character come to life instead of him being in a video game. I would love to be in AEW, walk through those tunnels. Be in a rivalry with Jericho. That it's I've always dreamed of being in the ring with Jericho or Rosemary or any of the people that I've wanted to be in the ring with, because that is my ultimate dream, is to be a part of that industry. And I don't just stream wrestling because I love it. I stream it because it's the only way that I can be a wrestler. Ever. It's the only way that I can be a wrestler. I'll never wrestle physically, fall and hit my head and be dead just like that. One bad fall and I could really hurt myself. And that stuff ain't fake. Falling and all that, like, that stuff ain't fake. So if I have to tell these stories through my career universe modes and my YouTube series and all that stuff that way, then I will do it that way. And I thank everyone who comes out to the stream. I thank Spud for that awesome raid the other day from streaming, which totally freaked me out. Threw me off my commentary, but I love doing the commentary, and I can't wait to meet JR, Tony Schiavone, two guys that I grew up watching. Guys that inspired me to do what I do. This is like, when I say I love wrestling, I don't just love it. I live it.
Wrestling. Yeah.
I hope that you guys, you see the Outlaw characters, you see those guys, and I would love to work with John Moxley and AEW, those guys, because that's where I want streaming to go. Like, if streaming can get me there, literally, when I sign my AEW, because I the amount of times you say what if, I'm done saying what if. I want to say when I make it to AEW, because I'm going to, or when I make it to.
You're there already.
I'm going
to. It's just bound to happen. You just have to believe that you're there already. It's the power. It's actually, I've heard of this thing called The Secret. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this. It's a positive way of thinking. It's basically telling yourself, like just like what you just said, that you want to be in AEW. Instead of saying want, it's I'm there already. I'm just waiting for when it shows up. I'm waiting for when it's my time. I'm already there. And believe it though. Believe it so hard that you believe that you're actually doing this. It could be any goal in your life. Like you just set yourself. You have to work hard for it. It's not just going to show up. But you need to believe that you already have this object, this thing, this opportunity in your life, and hold on to it and believe that it's yours already.
Yeah.
That's what's gotten me through a lot as well, where I believe strongly in things that not just that I want, but I know I have already. It's just a matter of time. And that's anything in life, marriage, kids, future. Doesn't matter. It's things I want, I know I'm gonna have. I already have them, just waiting for me. That's just a way of thinking.
Yeah,
it's not a bad way of thinking.
It's called The Secret. It's a book. It's also a documentary. It's helped out a lot of people from recovering from a negative impact in their life and how to change that around. Because I live my life day by day. I know there's a future. I know that there's so much going on, and I just can't. I set goals, but I don't live for that in the future. I live for now. Well, I can only control what's happening right now. I can't control what happens a year from now. Where am I going to be? Who the hell knows? I could say, hey, I want to go to Disney next year. Set that goal, but I can't focus so hard on it because anything can change any given day.
And everything will.
And everything will, exactly. You'd be bounced around which way, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, anything can change, of course. But like I've changed my career so many times, or like my career. Like first I wanted to be a singer. Then I wanted to be a producer, music producer. But I found something that I'm good at, and that is promos. You heard it in that video. I'm pretty damn good at it.
You were good.
Yeah,
I tell you it all the time though, and you're like, nah, I'm not good. Dude, I fell in love with your commentary from the very first stream that I saw you do your the wrestling streams. And I'm just like, this guy's really good at calling matches and knowing the
I'm no
names
JR though.
You don't have to be JR. You're not the next JR. You're the next Botch.
Absolutely.
You are Botch. You are the next. If you set that, I could see you being an announcer. You put enough hard work into it. You get the connections you need. I'm not just saying this. You are good at it. When I did my HIW backyard wrestling when I was 20, I would have had you as my freaking announcer, dude. Because the guy I had was terrible, and you nail it. You know how to call the shots, call the matches. You could be a heel, you could be a face. It doesn't matter.
I love being a heel.
I know you love being a heel. You said that I can only be the face. You can't see me as a heel. It's funny because I was a heel in my HIW days back when like 12 years ago. Jesus. But yeah, so I could see that, man. If you set your mind to it, I truly believe you'll get there. But you have to really want it, and it does take work. It's not just gonna be handed to anyone on a silver platter.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I would love to be a manager of another. That's kind of the goal. I would love to, like my dream wrestler to manage is Rosemary in Impact, even though that she doesn't need a manager, because usually managers are usually people who can't cut promos.
Yeah. Well, except for Paul Heyman.
Oh yeah, of course. But like I would love to work with Rosemary. I've spoken to Rosemary multiple times, and I love speaking to her and her character. It's great. I love speaking to her and her character, and being a part of that world. Because literally, like when I'm Brian Outlaw, like, and this goes out to everyone that comes to the streams, including you, Slav, and Tony. For coming to the stream and everything.
Oh my god.
Well, welcome to my life where I'm excluded all the time. So I'm just kidding, Tony. I freaking love you. When you guys come to the streams and you guys hear Brian, I want you to know that there's a real guy behind. Like you guys know it's my voice, but it's not the way that I usually. Because you can tell there's a difference in my tone of voice. But, I want you to know that those stories are real. You know, those stories are real. The merch is real. I got my merch right here. Sorry, I can't really show anything, but there, got my merch right there.
Your website, your YouTube.
Yeah, website's freaking amazing. My podcast is awesome.
I was part of that. That was awesome.
That was awesome. Yeah. So I really just want to make it to AEW. And when I walk through those tunnels, because my guinea pig Oreo, he passed away. And
I'm so sorry.
him and I shared when Edge returned to the Royal Rumble.
Oh,
And that was the last moment that we shared together. And
you'll always remember that moment.
I have his ashes. I have his ashes in a little tub thing. And I have his paw print too. And I posted a picture on Instagram of the paw print. And I said to him, I'm going to carry you with me because Daddy's going to make it. Daddy's going to make it. Daddy's going to make it to AEW. And, he's going to be the next, because Matt Hardy's there now.
I know.
Luke Harper's there. So
Tony's like, who? Who?
I've just been fucking sitting here just listening. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, I want to do the reason why this came up is because we asked Botch what's going to keep him. Where does he see himself in the future, and what motivated him was wrestling and the video game of wrestling. So we weren't talking about wrestling per se, but it led into that.
Yeah,
it's his story, Tony. We didn't talk about this wrestler, that wrestler until just now.
I swear to God, Tony, if I show you some of the women that I watch that's on wrestling, you'll enjoy it.
Listen, I used to watch the Divas, and that's only because my wife made me watch the show.
Oh my God, you actually watched the show?
I watched Divas. Yeah, I did. I
Total
watched
Divas?
So you saw John
Total
Cena
Divas,
a lot,
yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
The Miz.
I love that show.
So Tony doesn't. I will never watch the Divas. You kidding me?
And then I
Listen.
stopped watching. I stopped watching it once Paige got off of it. Stopped watching.
She
it.
made a
not
sex
for me.
tape.
We know.
I know. I've
Xavier Woods was
seen
in it.
like 20 or 30 times. Thank you.
Wow, 20 or 30. You watched it on replay.
It's Paige.
Yeah, no, I had to watch Total Divas because the wife wanted to watch it, so I was like,
It's Paige. Okay.
It's
not just anybody.
I know that the Yokai Prince is very big into wrestling. He's actually going to school for it.
He's a
all that.
wrestler. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a wrestler.
he's good.
Him and I have talked about it.
My God, I'm a diva. So what? I should be on the freaking show.
If you don't watch
Actually, Heavy.
Would you watch it if I was on it?
Absolutely not. Actually, Heavy did say that he could see you as a heel because all you do is talk about yourself.
Yeah, but I don't because I come into a chat and I get the shout out. And
I don't even understand it. That whole terminology. You're like, oh, I'm a heel. I'm a fucking this. What are you talking about?
A heel, face and a heel. Face is a good guy. Heel is a bad guy.
Cool.
You're a heel. Tony would be a heel for sure.
Usually just call them protagonists and antagonists.
Not in wrestling terms.
Oh, in wrestling terms. Got it.
You never heard of heel?
No.
Bat, you never watched when you were a kid.
I was never what?
You never watched when you were a kid?
Watched what?
Wrestling.
Absolutely not.
Ever.
Ever.
WWF,
Oh my God, the heel
WWE.
turn.
Ever, forever. Nope, never.
All right, Tony. Then you know what? We're done with the wrestling talk. Tony, ask your question.
Why are you so stupid?
What are you saying about me, bro?
Oh, sorry.
Thinking about me. we have about 10 more minutes, and then we'll open up for questions, and then
Yeah.
Tony's a heel, absolutely. I guess I'm a heel.
Tony's definitely a heel.
This
Yeah,
is-
absolutely a heel.
I don't know. I think I'd be a better mean guy.
Okay, so
Yeah,
for
you
me,
would be a heel. Yeah.
So I'm surprised she never watched. I watched because my dad and my mom. My mom tried out to be a woman wrestler, but back in the day, I think it was like the 1995 maybe or something like that. She tried out and they told her that she had too small boots. Like her boobs were too small to be a.
So?
I know, but back then it was during the Sable, Tori Wilson. You know the little, more of a voluptuous type of women
more
wrestler.
endowed. I would
Yeah.
say.
So my mom was not, but my mom worked out hard and she trained and everything, and they turned her down just for that reason.
So you got brought up into it.
What?
So you got brought up into it.
I got brought into being a wrestling. My dad was a huge
Same.
wrestling fan. Huge.
I never did.
Huge.
I was brought into good old rock and roll and sports.
My
Well,
mother.
I was big into sport, but wrestling's a sport. Maybe not to you.
It's not. It's a show.
But
favorite game to play.
Sports entertainment.
It's a show.
Sports entertainment.
It's scripted reality.
But you can get hurt. Wait, so you're not telling me football's not rigged?
Is it scripted?
Is it
How is football scripted?
There's a lot of rumors about it, remember? There was a lot of things going on.
How is football
You never know,
scripted?
man.
Nope, we're
You
going
play
off into
the
this.
reps.
We're going off into this. How is football
You
scripted?
never know.
And go.
I don't know. They pay the refs.
Oh yeah, okay, here we go.
You ever seen the movie Ready to Rumble?
No.
I swear to God. It's a classic movie. All right. Look, watch it. Watch it one day.
Bitch, you
Okay.
I
better
think
swerve.
I've seen it.
But so what?
See, even Dan says he
See,
said it's a
UFC,
reality
UFC.
show.
Do you gonna watch UFC?
Yeah, of course I watch UFC.
All right, UFC.
John Jones.
UFC
John
and
Jones.
some boxing.
I watch all UFC and all WWE. Right? I watch both.
Because they beat
like
the
real
fuck out of each other for real.
Boxing's bullshit. I prefer UFC where it's everything.
Yeah, 100%.
Kickboxing, everything.
See, but
Oh,
even
the
Dan
beats.
said it's wrestling's a reality show like Jersey Shore.
Well, you know what?
What's up? What's up? Now the non-wrestlers getting
the
in
only,
here talking.
the only
What's up?
thing the only thing that's real.
I like them both. And then what happens when the UFC fighters go to WWE like Ronda Rousey? Where do they go?
They go into a scripted
Brock
reality show.
Yeah.
First of all, Brock Lesnar got
Let's-
into the octagon and fucked a lot of people up. All right, so I give him
Yeah.
that.
He's a beast.
If John Cena, as much as I like him, wants to step into
CM
the octagon,
Now you get CM Punk joined the UFC and he got his ass kicked.
yeah, a lot of people do because they think it's fucking. They think they can do it.
It's not. Yeah, but then they go to wrestling and they're terrible at wrestling. Like Ronda Rousey was terrible at wrestling. She's a great real fighter, terrible actor. So trust
Yeah.
me, I think people belong where they, if they're UFC fighters, stay in the UFC. Like that's where you belong because that's your talent.
Well, Shayna Baszler with the exception because
She's terrible too, though. She's awful in my opinion because all she does is tap you out or ground and pound. I don't enjoy it at all.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
not. I don't need the UFC in wrestling. I'll watch the UFC for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like Brock, yeah, you know.
Brock, I can respect if he showed up and wrestled more.
I'm done with him. I'm over it.
Why?
I'm over it.
Why?
Over what? I mean, what do you mean why? What
Kid
do
doesn't
you
even
mean?
know what he's
why?
talking about.
I was typing in your chats. I wasn't really listening for a
Kid
second.
doesn't even know what he's talking about. I go, why? He goes, I don't remember what. What?
I was typing in your chat.
I'd be surprised. This is Slev. we're
Baszler's
talking
terrible.
to. This is
Baszler's
Slev we're
terrible.
talking to.
Yeah, it's
Remember that.
You get
He
it.
just called her a
bot.
terrible actress, meaning the WWF is a show. Haha, got ya.
It is. a show. Wrestling's real though. I understand it's fake, but you're hating on it because it's fake. It's a great show. It's a soap opera for everybody.
It's a soap
That's
opera.
why I enjoy it.
Okay,
It-
all right.
It's entertainment. It's like going to the circus. You go to the circus.
I don't
You know,
know the
you-
circus.
Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Oh
staged.
my god, man. I'm done with this. I love that. I don't even mind that it's fake. It doesn't bother me.
Just saying, I only go to wrestling.
I know it's fake.
I only
33
go.
years old.
I only go to wrestling because I got to see Bailey's booty in a blackout. That was
Here we
great.
go.
That was pleasant. That was very pleasant. Hello.
Well, now we're gonna move. Past this wrestling thing.
Sorry.
Right? I did not want to
Your
talk
fault,
wrestling with
Slev.
Tony. No, it's not my fault. I didn't want to talk wrestling with Tony because Tony hates it. And we even said it before. We're not going to talk about it. Botch the perv. Jeez.
Have you seen that?
Oh god.
Like, that's majestic. Okay, God made
Majestic.
that. God made that.
Y'all
Jesus.
talk. Hater comes in. Y'all talk about wrestling. Talking about wrestling.
Okay, I could get worse here, honestly,
Get
but I'm not.
All right,
going
we're
to.
gonna open up for questions and call it. Slav.
Me? Why do I?
I said you want to open it up for questions.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody got any questions for Botch, myself, or Diva?
God, golf says titty. It's like, what's happening at the end of this right now? People
I
talking
agree.
boobs and Botch.
I-
Where did you start?
I
Talking
agree.
about boobs.
I agree.
I agree. Bitch says
Who's-
titties
who's-
above all. I agree.
Wait.
Boobs, bobs,
Oh
you know,
god.
all of them. Tatas, whatever. Yeah, there's many names for the
All right,
beautiful.
what do you guys got for us?
Botch called it majestic.
Ooh, majestic.
I agree, dude. I agree, man. Vanilla says butts greater than boobies. I give a nice
Butts
thumbs
over
up.
boobies.
Have you seen
What's over
Bailey
movies,
in
chat?
yoga pants?
You can
Have you
have your
seen
Bailey. I
Bailey
got my
in
Becky
yoga
list.
pants?
All right. Well, if we got
Yeah,
any
Yeah,
wait,
questions,
Bailey. Yeah. This is not happening. We're not talking about. It's like, all right, we're gonna have a vote, chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you like boobs. Put a 2 in the chat if you like butts.
and put a 3 if you like dumbs and booties. Apparently, because Vanilla says that.
2. We have bitch has the 3. We got 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. What the hell's happening? Somebody just put a put a giggity in there, chat. 2, 2, 2.
I think Biz had a question. I'm not
This
sure.
is unbelievable.
Oh god.
TOS, right? I mean, Jeebus. 69. There it is, chat. There's the giggity. Okay, so what's the question? Sorry.
I don't know. I
Wait,
didn't.
where was the question? Am mine? Or Tony's?
In
There's so many to
yours.
choose in ones. I
Self.
can't even move up. Chat pause due to scroll.
Yeah, I can't.
I can't scroll up
I can't
anymore.
even see it.
Can we get a repost, please?
What's your favorite
Yeah,
Twitch
can
memory?
you repost it? Because I didn't.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's good. Oh my God, Lucky Jesus.
Recently or just over?
Overall, I'm assuming.
Overall, like your streaming career, like ever since
I
day
would
one,
say-
Press Live.
I would say the call that I did for out versus Sky out RCW, my RCW streams match. I call that instant, that whole match was my favorite because just a lot of good calls in that match. The sister versus sister and the whole story. That is my favorite calling that match.
Nice.
Hayer wants to know why you have blinds and blackout curtains on your window.
Because that's how my room is.
That's a great question. We learned a lot from that one. You know what? Maybe he wants extra privacy.
Hey, I got blinds and blackout curtains on mine, but I work overnights, so.
Read the next one. I can't. What?
How are you still single? I mean, what? I'm married?
Wouldn't be the first person to ask me that.
Bitch is a cheeky fuck, huh?
Lynn said the same thing.
Is that why you're not married?
Oh my god.
Well, yeah. And she said, "How are you
That's what
still
Lynn
single?"
said?
Yeah.
Heavy, Heavy wants me to make fun of him really badly, and I just won't do it.
Just
And
tell him he's bald and call it a day, all right?
That's not making fun of him. That's his thing.
That's his
That's not even making fun of him. It's like me calling you fat. You're like, yeah, so what?
Yeah, okay.
Hater said getting married is easy.
Oh,
Expensive.
yeah. That's why it's like when you get married, make sure you know what you're in for.
That's why I'm never.
That's why you signed a prenup.
That's why I'm never getting married.
That's what you
When
said.
does Slev not talk about himself? You know
I
what?
know, right? That's actually a great question.
I don't talk about myself unless asked or shouted out for no freaking reason. And I say, stop talking about me. If I can play, you know what? Can I play a sound right now? I'm gonna play it right now, just for Heavy, because you know what?
Oh,
My image.
See? My image.
that was horrible. Hater just roasted Vanilla. It's so bad.
Oh, Jesus.
Thank you, Joker.
My God, it's horrible.
Wait, I said S instead of S.
Asked.
It's horrible.
I said S.
When am
Asses.
When am I getting partner? I'm not even close.
Hey, man. Pancakes or waffle? Big question.
Big question. Oh, God.
Waffles.
Yes, waffles. Tony's a pancake. Of course, it'd be the other guy going different.
Hate
Pancakes. Tony. They get so like
Dude, chocolate chip
think of-
pancakes, bro, or the Cinestack
chocolate
pancakes,
chip
bro?
waffles, bro.
If you guys
with
ever
whipped
go
cream.
to fucking IHOP and they have the Cinestack pancakes, you fucking get them. You don't put any syrup on them. You just fucking.
Look at him. He's just like, ha. Is thinking about ass still. Waffle. Wait. Slev is still thinking about ass. What?
I don't know.
Heavy
Heavy
pancakes right now.
Heavy seems to think he has a question for me.
I'm definitely.
Heavy has a
thinking
question
about
for me. When does Slev
But
not talk about himself?
All right,
When he's
you know what?
sleeping.
I can't. Even then, I'm talking about myself.
that. Bacon.
He's having
is
dreams about himself. He's like, yeah, so anyways, my image in my life growing up and streaming
Oh my
and
god.
softball and,
Yeah, softball.
and
Yeah,
people and wrestling and diva And Diva. And Diva.
I didn't create the diva, by the way. That was not me. That was all Christina.
Favorite thing to do outside of gaming? That's easy.
Favorite? Oh, that's wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh, can't forget about Dexter and his
It's all
girlfriend.
fly, baby. Yeah. Yeah.
It's all about
How can
yourself.
you miss those? It's not about me.
Those are literally everything you
Someone
talk
said
about.
Cereal. Ooh, cereal. Go. Quick. Favorite cereal.
Me?
Botch. Yeah, favorite cereal. These are
I'm not a
very
cereal
important
guy.
questions. But if you had to pick one.
Frosted mini wheats. I like that.
Ooh, with the mini weeds. I'm a Captain Crunch guy, even though
Ooh.
it wrecks the top of my mouth. I'm like, delicious pain.
I have two
delicious
favorites now.
pain. Two favorites?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh my god. So Captain Crunch was up there, but it's definitely a solid 2. Number 1, Reese Puffs.
Reese's. He says Reese's.
what?
Oh god.
Reese's.
Yeah, who
Puffs.
says Reese's? It's Reese's.
Reese's?
It's not Reese's Pieces. It's not Reese's. It's
It's
Reese's.
Reese's Pieces
No,
for
it's
the
not.
rest of my life. I don't fucking care what you say or do or like even murmur. It's Reese's Pieces. Even though it's
It's
Reese's Pieces, it will never be fucking Reese's Pieces. It will never, ever, ever.
Cody, right? Get out.
Did anybody else say it's?
I heard that. I heard it before with the Reese's Pieces. I lost my mind. I was like, who the hell just called it Reese's? It wasn't you, Tom. I'm just saying, like in general, when I've heard it, I'm like, it's Reese's.
Nope, Reese's.
Wait, what are you gonna say, Bocce?
Somebody. I don't
I'm
know
with
who
Tony
said.
on this. Wow.
I don't know who said it, but somebody said something about me. I don't know.
Reese's, you heathen. Wow. Reese's,
All right.
see, Reese's peanut butter cup. Oh, 100%. We're going with favorite candy.
Favorite
candy,
rapper?
real quick. Butterfingers right here.
I'm not a candy guy either.
You're not a cereal guy or a candy guy.
I don't eat a lot of candy, dude. But if I had to choose
over here
one,
eating veggies.
cookies and cream Hershey bar.
Wow.
Mm.
Tony?
What?
Favorite candy? These are the questions we're getting, all right?
Butterfingers.
You had Butterfingers too?
Yeah.
That's mine.
Butterfingers and Milky Ways. Wait, time out.
Oh, God, he's going to change it. Favorite ice cream?
Almond. No, wait. What's the
He
Almond.
was like, "What's your favorite candy?"
No,
Don't
like
eat candy.
what's the other one besides Mounds?
Payday? Almond Joy?
Almond Joy.
Okay.
Love them.
The Slev
Love
Slev
'em.
show over his... Wait, what?
Biz asked me who my favorite rapper was.
Almond Joy. That's
Mounds.
what it is. Love them.
Favorite ice cream? Vanilla.
Cookies. and
Oh,
cream.
these are my favorite cookies.
Ooh, those are good. Oh, my God. I like the other one with the... Oh, what the hell is it called? I don't even remember. It's the same brand.
Those are my coconut dreams.
Vanilla for sure. I've always been a vanilla guy. Always.
Fire. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's wrap this up.
So, Chad, we've been talking about ice cream and all this. Does anyone have like a real, genuine question for the Bocce? Like something to do with Botch?
One thing. that
Charizard, me? You asking? No, you want to ask Bocce? What was one thing? What's your zodiac sign? I like. What's your favorite thing about yourself? Bocce. That's a good question. What is your?
And your dick isn't
Don't talk
an
about
acceptable. It isn't an acceptable answer.
God damn it!
He's like, but it's the only thing that works.
Botch has big hands. You know what that means?
I love you,
Big
Botch.
gloves.
Big gloves.
Favorite thing, probably my humor. I love my humor.
a good
I love my dark humor.
I love that.
Favorite wrestling.
Big
match,
prostate exams. Like what?
Heavy. Oh my god. That's a hard
Ooh,
one.
favorite wrestling match. Tony, close your ears.
Oh my fuck! Here we go.
Heavy asked it. It relates to Bocce.
Favorite wrestling match.
Not during the podcast. It's not a Christian channel.
Jesus.
Oh man, that's hard.
I
Gonna
can
make
give
his
you mine.
brain hurt.
The very first TLC match, man. The Hardys, Dudleys, and Edge and Christian.
Mm,
The very first one. That's one of my
I
favorite
would
matches of all
say
time.
one of the most memorable ones July 23rd, 2013, Emma versus Paige for the Women's NXT Championship, where Paige became the first NXT Women's Champion.
Oh, well, that was quick.
Yep.
That was like one of the quickest matches too. Tony, what's your favorite match? Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan? Tell me you know that goddamn match though.
Where wrestling just disappears. That would be my favorite match.
All right, there it is, chat. Get these hands. He's like, yeah? Who's Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, brother. I know
Oh,
who
at
Hulk
least
Hogan
love
is. Come on.
Ooh, when Stone Cold drove the beer truck, that was a memorable
Mhm.
moment. Tony, you remember that?
I actually do remember that.
Oh god. You know what was even better is when Kurt Angle drove the milk truck in. You remember that?
Nope.
Yep.
Yep, I remember that.
Ooh, Josh, that's a
I remember
good one
that
right
time where that one guy hit that one guy with an actual
there.
real
Partied
chair.
with Hogan? Vanilla partied with Hogan. All right, man. Vanilla's got all these. Vanilla knows the world. Vanilla's got the hookups.
His daughter's hot. I'll say it.
What
I'll
was
leave
the
it at that.
one thing, Brooke? The one thing that defined your childhood, Botch? What defined your childhood?
Oh man, when I say my childhood, what do I think of? Hybrid Theory, the album by Linkin Park.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's an amazing album. I've seen Brooke. That is nice.
Change anything?
I think the world's seen Brooke's boobies.
So have I.
Pick.
What? It's a long time ago.
Pick.
If you can go back and change anything, what would it be?
Oh man. Oh, jeez, that's a really good question. That's probably the best one. Honestly, that's kind of hard to say because
Probably ended on this question.
I
Very
really wouldn't
important one.
change anything. I mean,
You wouldn't
I love,
change anything?
I love my life. You know, like I feel like my disability is a part of it. You know, like
That's actually a beautiful answer, man.
so.
So beautiful.
Nah, that really hit, man.
Just like Tony's face.
I just came.
About your own face?
Wait, what? On it? On my own face?
Oh my god.
I don't know what you're talking about anymore.
He said not as beautiful as Tony's face. And you're like,
What semen
So
on?
you, to your own face.
You telling me you don't look in the mirror and jack off every night? Well, that's just me,
Nope.
apparently.
Well, it is. Everything is about myself, so I should. You know,
You
it's
should.
something-
Slev has a fucking mirror on his. He's just like.
No, I have my own entertainment. Thank you.
Botch has his own entertainment room.
Who do I look up to the most? Well, you already know the answer.
Who do you look up to the most, and what qualities do you love about the person? Well, it's definitely Paris.
It's Lynn, for
It's
sure.
Lynn,
Yeah,
like the lead singer from Paris.
yeah, it's her. I like a lot of
I
stuff.
swear to God, Hater. Where does Hater come up with this shit? Like, what is this? What is this? What is this? Bocce, I'm blaming you. You started this. With the boob comment. You started this with the boob comment.
It's like jumping up into the infinite.
I just
See,
can't even right now.
You're looking at your butthole, looking at you. Wait.
just see your dick everywhere. I just no.
Oh god.
Yes,
I think
guys. Okay, so yeah, guys, definitely follow Bocce Boy on Twitch. Thank you for the shout out. Also, his YouTube channel, and you have the website, correct, with the merch and all the goodies.
Yeah, it's
Botch,
on my
I just wanna
channel. It's
say
down on my
thank you.
panel.
I just personally want to say you're a great freaking friend. I've known you for how long now in this, man? And what a journey it's been. It's had to be going on a year and a half. It has
A
to
year
be
and a half, yeah.
And just to learn more about who you are as a person. Even I learned so much more even through this podcast, man. I'm very happy you came on and told us a little about your story and about your life and everything. You're a really good guy, man. And just
Thanks,
never.
man.
And I don't even need to tell you never give up. I don't even need to say it because that's already your attitude. That's already something you're gonna do on your own.
Never gonna let you down.
Oh, you're done. Oh,
Oh yeah, sorry. That's about it.
I was feeling it. I was gonna
I
clap
was
you
feeling
on,
it.
man.
I was feeling it. You ruined it.
Ruined it, man. Damn, Tony can sing. Tony's got that voice.
Have you
Who
You
said
hear,
that?
you hear him sing that country.
Who just said that?
Bitch.
Shut up.
Twitch
Twitch.
sings. Remember Tony when we did that with Maroon 5?
Yeah, and I'm garbage. I found out real quick. All right. So it has been a great podcast.
It's been a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you, Botch. We haven't done a podcast in a while, and thank you for being on it.
Yeah,
We
no
really
problem.
appreciate it. I know you weren't in the middle. We were gonna figure this out. Discord. I don't get what you did, but we tried to call each other at least 17 times.
Yeah.
And Tony was always in the middle on my screen, and I was always on the middle in Tony's screen. So,
Yep. So this is what we're at now. Technically, Botch is supposed to be in the middle of both of us, but I don't know what's been going on.
but the whole time the guest was Tony, right? Like.
But can Tony give you free handy?
Discord is potato.
Am I this way?
Thank you, Reaper. What? Well, on my screen, you're no. I'm on the other side.
This side. There we go. I was
Yep,
just
hi. Like, Botch, grab his hand.
I'm not grabbing your hand.
Our arms are
Oh my
extended.
God.
Those aren't your
Like,
hands.
oh, all right, guys. That's disgusting, Tony.
What? I was skiing.
I thought we were shaking each other's hands.
No, I was skiing.
Take your skating.
I was a little birdie in the middle.
Yeah. Tony says Reese's wrong. He does. Thank you, Biz. That if we learn anything tonight is that Tony says Reese's Pieces chat.
Perfect. Reese's
Remember
Pieces.
that? Think about that.
Remember that for when somebody you want to hate. All right.
Yes, Vanilla. Vanilla, you already have a boat?
All
right. Well, love
Set
you
this
guys,
off.
Tony. I love you, Bocce. Thank you so much for being on. We
Yeah,
love
no
you, dude.
problem.
Thank you so
Keep
much.
doing
Botch.
keep doing what you're doing. It was an honor to have you on the Brew Boys, drinking my Heavy's Gatorade.
Oh yeah.
Sponsored.
All right, guys. Well, that's gonna be
Bye,
it for
guys.
episode 11. Hope you guys had a
Yes.
great time. I know me and Slev are gonna continue streaming, so make sure to chill out while we take a quick break,
Yep.
and we'll get back to it.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Later, Botch. Love you, dude. Bye.
Bye.